Hello again, VOTOMS fans. I'm continuing collecting these 1/48 scale VOTOMS by Sunrise Takara, Tomitech. And what we have today is AG-V05, which is the Scopedog Red Shoulder Custom. All right, and then ATM-09-ST is the, I guess, code for the Armored Trooper, like a military code. Some accessories in here. This is all legalese here. 2050-20. You can never really tell on the outside of the box how old this thing is. I'm still trying to find one where I can figure that out. Nice photographs here. Let me just hit the focus here. Some stats in Japanese of what the thing is, and then the features of the toy itself. It can actually go into sit-down mode so the pilot can get in and out, kind of, sort of. And then accessories. Okay, what's this? Oh, something about, I think this might contain, it says filing storage for Actic gear material cards, which I have collected a few of now, so this will be nice. There it is. Very cool. Alright, I was thinking about throwing those cards out, but now I guess I'll keep them, even though I don't read Japanese. Okay, so what do we have? We got this big reinforcement cardboard. And then a whole bunch of extra parts for modifying or adding pieces to the guy. Hold on here. Okay. So the filing thing, I'm going to open this because I am going to use it. So it's just a miniature filing binder. And I was wondering, because I've collected like 6 of these already, or more like 10, but I have 6 of these cards. I'm like, what kind of binder has these rings? But apparently now the answer is there. And so anyways, this card has all the stats and story of this particular armored trooper, and then actual scenes from the cartoon show and stuff like that. So let's see if this is easy. 2 little tabs, open, and put in, close. If only these are in English too. Oh well. It's funny, it seems like a lot of Japanese companies just don't care about the rest of the world. Like, when it comes to toys, they just don't have any English versions of anything. You know, the packaging is just all for Japanese people. Like, Tomiko Limited Vintage, I guess that's the same parent company though, Takara Tomitech. Maybe it's just those guys. They just don't care, right? Anyways, these, this is a big set of instructions here. So it tells you how to put the pieces together and then where they belong. Yeah, so we have a lot of accessories, and the back side is plain, alright? Here's the little cardboard name tag. You can fold that into a triangle, which I will keep. And Takara Tomy fans, this does come in Chorokyu packaging as well. Never gone to that. I can't read Japanese. So I'm gonna have to probably go into fast forward mode and clip some of these things off. But one thing I will say, a lot of the painting's already done for you. I'm too lazy to paint these things right now, but they're nicely done. You know, this thing is molded in green, but this magazine, this thing is gray. The barrel is like a gold. This one's got a green hand painted over this more gray bluish plastic, I guess you would say. Unfortunately, the figure is not painted. This thing is just raw plastic, and this one for some, it has a red ring because this is the red shoulder. If you're curious about learning about VOTOMS here, you can just search a website, and eventually you run into mahq.net, and they have stats on all the different VOTOMS robots. So here we have this red shoulder custom, and then down here, let's see, I like to know 7 tons, around 7 tons. It's armored walking tank. Here, this is how you I like to learn about it. So apparently this thing, the main star of the show is called Chirico QV. He was hiding out and his friend took a arena robot and then loaded it up with weapons, but he painted the wrong side. So he painted the red shoulder, whereas previously in the past there was a bunch of a military group here, Red Shoulder Battalion, and they had it on the left side. Alright, anyways. Yeah, it's all a make-believe world, but why not learn about it? I'm trying to watch episodes of it. Okay, let's go into fast-forward mode. Okay, I put the two guns together and have a bunch of leftover parts. Now let's get into the actual blister. It's very thin blister plastic. That's probably why I had that cardboard reinforcement. So these I'm going to just dump out. And then the figure is pretty much done for you, which is great. There's the red shoulder on the wrong side. Alright, so this little ring here goes on this. Yeah, naturally you guys see the little plastic there. If you're really anal about it, you'd have to paint it again. Alright, a few other parts I know have to go on. Is this little hose goes into the knee. So, oh, you know what? I know this is not trimmed enough. Okay. I'm gonna have to extend the knee. Okay, so this is in for the folding mode. It's really small, these figures. Alright, that's jammed in. It's jammed in this side. I guess that's as good as it goes. Okay. So this little unpainted ring goes on the other shoulder. This thing's empty. I've never seen that one before with the slot open. I think these ammo packs will probably come off, but you can swap them out. You can also, so there's extra pieces. Oh no, never mind, hold on. This one belongs on the wrist. This is a little wrist guard plate. Snaps on. Let's do the other side. Yeah, that one's loose. That's gonna fall off pretty easily. So that's unfortunate. But a lot of the, you know, if you drop it, the part will just fall off instead of break. So I think that's the intention, what they were thinking to Takara Tomitech. That one snaps in nicely, the little back hook. Yep, nice positive snap. Alright, so the cockpit here opens, you know, the visor opens, the reticle, and if you pull up the back part, the actual hinges will pop upwards. There we go. And that's what lets it open all the way. You gotta put the character in first. That's what I find, at least. Okay. And then the control sticks. Because the screen has to face him. Yeah. Okay, so that's how that guy goes. Doesn't want to go down all the way. What's up with that? Oh, I see. So I guess those control sticks are not in enough. Oh, there it goes. Positive click. Pretty nice. I don't know. Well, all right, so the antenna here, they also move independently of that visor. They should, but you want to obviously grab at the base or you'll just break off the antennae. Yeah, a little bit of articulation, yeah. Okay. The shoulders here, they will pivot a tiny bit. And then the bicep has a swivel. The shoulder is on a ball peg, so that can, you know, arc in and out, but also rotate. The forearm has this little extension. It's like a punch mechanism in the cartoon, right? So it punches people out or punches robots out. Before I even put on these other parts, I might as well just get all the articulation done. So the torso will spin around. All these little plates around the hip do articulate out of the way. And so, hold on, let me go this thing out. So I'm going to do the conversion mode where he can kneel down. So you got to pull this, oh, I guess it just tilts forward, and then this is a little different than other ones. Interesting. I don't think I have a VOTOMS where it just folds out like that. Usually there's an extension part, but oh, well, it is sliding up and down in the slot. Well, let's see if it'll crouch down. You'll see the little screw holding the knees together. I think it, like this has to go up more. No, maybe not. I guess that's it. All right. Doesn't seem like it's articulating properly. No, that is how it is, according to the instructions. So this guy's kneeling down, and then, you know, the guy would climb up and, you know, get in and out of the cockpit. So that's the reasoning why it has those legs that extend. Okay, I wanted to do that because with all the little fidgety parts, they just fall off and make it annoying to do the crouch feature. But all it is basically is there's a little piece here, and it slides in and out of the shin. So now it's back to normal. That's folding mode, normal. Okay, so the back of the legs have these little shields as well. So these pieces just have little domes and they go into these recesses. Some are loose, some are not. That one was pretty tight. Come on, I don't want to shear off the pin. That's what I'm afraid of. I've done it before. Okay, that one went on well. Some articulation here in the toe. Well, the foot really. So it's on a hinge, the top part. The hinge is in the shin, and then there's a ball in the foot, so you can get quite a bit of movement forward and back, and then a little tilt action. On the feet, there are these spikes that can come down, so you can see that. I guess in the show, they, you know, stop or pivot maybe on them. Some screws holding the feet together as well. Okay, what other pieces? These are some, they belong somewhere. The back of the foot. These are little guards. So there's one side that has molded detail, the other side does not. So I would assume the molded detail belongs on the outside, or the visible side. Now, trying to get this in there without shearing the pin is a concern. Oh, there we go. Let's get the other one in. There we go. Alright, so those are all nice. Only the one loose ring here on the shoulder, it seems. Alright, so there's that one piece. There's this color. And that's the little grab for the pilot to get in and out of the vehicle. Alright, so this whole torso is painted this raw green plastic, but then they went and painted this part of the torso to match the rest. And these are all just raw plastic here. So we have one optional hand that's just, you know, a wavy hand or whatever. And then the other hands are on these two guns, right? So when it comes to swapping the hands, you'll see the hand hex is on a peg with a ball, and there's a little access port here. But that access port also lets you take the wrist and bend it 90 degrees almost. So that's nice for dynamic pose. I'm not sure which way you're supposed to pull it out, this thing. That's a weird joke right there. I'm gonna just try to pull it. Nope, I just pulled that out. So maybe it pulls this way. Boy, I don't know. It's really hard. I'm afraid I'm gonna break the peg off. That's too difficult. I'm gonna leave it alone. I guess he's gonna have a fist in that hand and a gun in the other. Anyway, so you see that little wrist piece fell off, so that's the fidgetiness. I mean, you could glue them in place, but then it'll break, right? So maybe this side, let's see if I can get a hand out so I can put a gun in. There we go. So I did pull it towards the side slot. Alright, so this is their standard rifle, I guess, in the VOTOMS world. This gun I've never seen before. So I'm going to put this one on. Yeah, pop it in from the side, spin it open. Then we got the guard for the hand. Let's see if we can get, well, maybe we shouldn't pose him yet because we got those other weapons. Alright, let's see, according to the instructions, we got this backpack thing. Which way does this go on? Looks like this is the top. So that, you'll see the pins there. So those hooks grab those pins. Okay, so that's nice. So it's nice because you can remove the backpack if you want. Nice and easy. And put on different accessory packs from other figures. Alright, so now this rocket launcher is really nicely done. So it's like a dark gray on the outside, but then you have this bluish gray on the back and the front, and then obviously red missile tips or rocket tips. Very cool. Alright, so that just pops into this hole here in the pack, and it's just friction fit. Fine, yeah, the peg is long enough that it doesn't fall out. Then we have two additional rockets, I guess, or missiles, and these go into this side peg here. So you can see that outline of an L, right? So that is what this thing has on the as a peg. Doesn't go in very far though, so I do feel that one might fall out one day pretty easily. But maybe that's why it's also an L. You'd think it'd be a peg though, then you could, you know, move it up and down. Like a round peg, I think, would have made more sense than the L. Oh well. So this side just has more like a rectangle with a very tiny extension. And that's what this Gatling gun here is. So there's a dark gray and then this raw blue plastic here. And so the magazine, or, well, the ammo feed, the belt, goes into that slot up there in the pack. So you gotta get two slots in. I guess that's in all the way. Didn't really it doesn't seem like it's actually going into the backpack. That's what's throwing me off. Maybe it's gotta go like that. Okay, well, anyways, they seem pretty tight. I'm sure if you add and remove those a bunch of times, though, it's gonna open up the opening. So you probably don't want to do that a lot, because otherwise you'll have to glue them in place. Or I guess you could use poster mount putty to keep them in place. All right, so that looks pretty cool. You know, how it's feeding into that Gatling gun, a waste Gatling gun. So now that little elbow guard I've never seen before is for this guy. This is supposed to go in to the slot and then push back, I guess. So there's like a T. What is this thing? It's got a recess for the barrel, so that's kind of neat. And then it's obviously a couple colors, so that's cool. And this looks like a magazine, so it looks like it's some sort of high caliber gun of some sort, maybe like a cannon or something. That elbow piece just fell off. So that's always a problem with these. This tiny little pin is holding that little plate on. So in this case, I guess I'll actually you put the plate on first. There we go. So yeah, push it so it engages, and now it can't fall off. Now that tiny little pin goes into the forearm, and that is that. So this guy is loaded to the max. I do wish now that I want him to have the open hand. So I'm going to extend this. I'm going to pull this. Now, man, it still doesn't want to come out this direction like I did on the other side. What is up with this hand? Okay. I have too many other VOTOMs with fists, so I want to have differences in my robot display. See, it's even hard to push in. Okay, very cool. So you see, this actually started to twist. Yeah, that's very loose. I might have to glue that on one day. Okay. Anyway, so I already have a VOTOMs with this particular thing, but let's see if this will come off, this ammo pack, because I'd like to change up the color. Let me get a screwdriver. Let's see if we can pry this off. Yes, we can. Alright, so I'll take the ammo pack off of this one. Maybe I'll just put that back on here. So you got a little color variation. And then this just pops on here. Cool. Alright, so a lot of different colors on this guy. I like it. I like it a lot. And then we just have 2 leftover fists in this gun. But again, you can swap these amongst the other characters from this Actic gear line. So let's take a look at a couple of the other ones. We've pretty much gone over the articulation. I have plenty of other VOTOMs videos in this scale, so you can look those up if you want. I do feel like that gun gets in the way of this, so you probably want to rotate that way. That's a tough one. You can't get his hand forward without the gun being attached to it, right? Yeah. So it's almost like you gotta just rotate the shoulder and have him like blasting away there. Let's go with the green reticle today. And then this guy, this side here. guess that's cool. You can totally make that thing go away from the front at least. It comes back. Cool. All right. So other scope dogs. I got this marshy dog, and this guy, I guess, goes through marshes. He has 2 flotation tanks, and then he's got like lines going to his backpack. Like maybe there's compressor or pressurized gas in these tanks, or I'm not sure. What I don't really know is these wheels on the side. Did these guys like move dynamically on these side wheels? Alright, anyway, so it's a different green, darker green. I got this purplish one now, and that's, see, it's got that rifle. Alright, and he's got what's called a round mover, so, which is some sort of jetpack. And then we have the brutish dog, which has a Gatling gun for a hand on the right side with a claw. And just a plain backpack for the back of this one. And then this thing is pretty funky. I think it's called Purple Bear, yeah. And he has an alternate head entirely. It does come with a head like these guys, but obviously I want different looks. And this one has a little bit more detail paint job on the rifle here. And you can swap out so many of these armor plates. I have kind of a hodgepodge mix going on there. And for some reason this is a more expensive line. It has die-cast feet and wheels down here. I think the die-cast feet are help to keep it planted. These guys are all plastic. You know, the only thing metal are those little screws. But this one actually has die-cast feet, but it costs a lot more. So alright, those are my scope dogs. So, very neat. Yeah, I really like this line. The parts are really small, they're really fidgety, but boy, I mean, so much detail in something so small. These are less than 4 inches tall. Here's my calipers. So, roughly 80 millimeters, which is roughly 3.2 inches. So, you know, that's a lot of articulation. That's a lot of opening parts for something so small. And like the panel gaps on them are great. Like these do open, but look how tight the hatch is on that one or on that one. The other ones, I don't know. I haven't closed them properly. So that's why I like these things. So it's really cool. I really wish they would come back and maybe make more. But until then, just gonna fill in the backlog of their castings or their offerings. I guess we should let this guy spin on its own. Need it at that height. Okay, well, the unfortunate part is these things are really expensive because they are out of print. So you can just, you know, search for 1/48 scale VOTOMS or Actic gear. I don't know why it's called Actic gear, but that's what it is. And you'll see they're pricey. But again, you're getting a lot of detail for something so small. And because the pieces are all separate, if you want to actually repaint them and customize them, it'll be pretty easy to do. There's no glue involved in these things, so it's just everything's like a friction fit, so that's really nice. Okay, thanks for watching today, and I'll see you in the next VOTOMS video.